Hello, everybody. My name is Colleen, and I'm going to be guiding you through a 30-minute meditation practice. So, finding a comfortable seat, you can have your legs crossed, you can have them extended out, whatever feels most comfortable to you. And then allowing your hands, one to find your chest, one to find your abdomen, and just closing your eyes here. And giving yourself the mental permission to let go of the outside world for this next 30 minutes, dropping in to your own self. And start to imagine your breath as if it were seaweed, gently moving on the currents of the ocean, meeting the changes of the sea and going with the flow. The seaweed dances and accommodates your breath with ease. And as the current starts to still, so does the current of your breath as you fall deeper into the present. And then maybe setting an intention for this class. You can verbalize it or you can just say it in your mind's eye. Maybe your intention is to just find a moment of peace. Maybe your intention is to find your breath flowing in and out gentler and with more ease. Or maybe your intention is just to drop out of the outside world and find that moment of turning inward. There's no right or wrong in an intention in class. It's just what you are hoping that this 30 minutes brings to you. And just allowing the hands to float down to the lap with the palms up. Keeping the eyes closed. And from here, we're going to start to notice the natural flow of your breath in and out. And don't try to change anything about the breath. Just start to observe it a little bit. And then we're going to start to bring a count silently in our mind to our breath. So take an inhale and count 1. And exhale, count 2. And next inhale would be 3. And next exhale will be 4. And allow yourself to count in your mind's eye all the way up to 10. Not changing anything about the breath, but just gently counting the breath. Then when you get to the count of 10, starting over again at 1. And you could imagine that you are drawing these numbers in the air with your breath. So you could see the number 1 appearing. You could see the number 2 appearing in your mind. Not forcing the breath at all. Just bringing that gentle count. A gentle number to each breath in and each breath out. Again, just coming to the number 10. And pausing for a moment. And then one last round here. Counting the breath in, counting the breath out. And then once you've reached 10 again, now just shift your awareness to observing the breath. So no counting, just letting that go. But start to observe as you take your breath in. Picture the lungs filling with air. And then as you exhale, feel the air empty out of your lungs. Imagine your lungs as a pair of balloons. And they inflate with air and they grow bigger. And the air leaves the lungs and they shrink back in. Picture this in your mind for 2 more cycles through. Air entering lungs, they expand. Air leaving lungs, they shrink back in. And then shift your awareness to how the breath feels when it enters your body. Does it feel a little cool as it enters the nostrils? And then how does the breath out feel? Does it feel a little warmer when it goes out? Taking that for 2 rounds. Just observing the temperature of the air as it goes in and out. And then bring your awareness to the rise and fall of the abdomen and chest as we breathe in and out. Focus is on abdomen and chest as it rises and falls. And then gently shifting your awareness to your rib cage. Can you feel it reaching out to the right and to the left gently as you take your breath in? Can you feel it drawing back into your body softly as you breathe out? And taking that for 2 rounds. And then just notice the quality of the breath, its length and its depth, without judgment or changing it, just being the observer of the breath. Just continuing to breathe here, focusing solely on the sensations of your breath. Just being the observer without trying to force change. Just noticing everything that happens as we breathe. Take 1 more cycle there through. And then gently opening the eyes. So now we're going to shift into a sight meditation. So for this, we're going to keep our eyes open, but a soft gaze. So just gently start to look around your space that you're in and notice any colors. And we want the color to be possibly on an object instead of a wall. So if possible, an object. If not, a wall is fine. But we're just seeking out color. And then stop when your eyes are at an object that has a color that you are drawn to. And allow your eyes to fully focus on this object. And start to notice the coloring of this object. Naming the color in your mind's eye, whatever it is. And then we start to notice everything about the shading. So is this one solid color? Perhaps there is lighter spots and darker spots on this object of the same color. And would you call this color a bright shade, pastel shade, somewhere in between. So we're just being the observer of the color of this object. And then start to shift your awareness to the texture of this object. So we're not touching it, but we would know if it's fabric, maybe it's softer. If it is made of glass, maybe the texture is smooth. So just looking at your object and thinking, what would the texture of this object be if I were to touch it? And then maybe imagining feeling it in your mind's eye. And would this temperature be warm or cool? Would the surface feel soft or rigid and hard or somewhere in between? And then we look at all the details on this object. Is it round? Does it have sharper corners or edges? Is it one color or multicolor, one shade or multi-shades? So we're really focusing on this as if we are seeing this for the first time. And maybe as you are gazing at this object, you are noticing something that you never noticed about this object before. And then start to imagine that you do not know what this object is. You are seeing it for the first time. You're not labeling it as to what it is. So in your mind's eye, start to think of, in your imagination, what would this object be if you did not know what it was? And then bring your imagination to being back to that of a child. And children can make toys or playthings out of so many things. So seeing this object through the eyes of a child, we are unsure what it is. If you were going to make this object be a toy, what would you do with it? So maybe this object is a blanket, and maybe you would cover yourself up like children do, or maybe you would shake it, see if it made a sound. Maybe you would pick the object up and see, is it very, very heavy or is it light? Maybe if the object was a little lighter, maybe you would toss it in the air and watch it come down. So just let your imagination go here, coming back to the eyes of a child. And what kind of things would you think a child would use this for, to be a toy? And then if this object is something that could hurt the child, would we say, no, you cannot touch the object. You can look at it, but you cannot touch it. It could be dangerous to you. Or is it something that as a child you could hold, you could play with? So we just let our eyes go to that object and let our imagination be free. And then releasing that. We're going to shift now to a standing meditation. So coming up to your feet, moving any obstacles that are in your way. So if you had your bolster down or a pillow down, we're just going to move that out of the way now. And finding a little space that we can walk. And we're going to take a walking meditation. So think about how many times we walk in life and we just walk mindlessly. So we're really going to bring our concentration to our steps. So take a step forward with one leg and put the heel down. Notice the heel connected to the earth. And then as we press forward into the ball of the foot, feel your opposite heel lift up. And then we take our step forward, heel down, ball of foot, other heel comes up. So just allow your awareness to rest on the places that your foot is connected to the earth. Turning when you need to turn, turning when you need to make more space, and just walking slowly and feeling that connection of the foot to the earth. All your concentration lies on your foot. And we feel the toes leave the earth. We feel the heel press into the earth when we take the step. We feel how the foot moves and the weight shifts as we roll. Now, when we get to the top of the mat, we're going to shift our perspective to, instead of the places we're touching the earth, the places where the foot is not touching the earth. So as I take my step, I feel my heel leave. I'm aware of that. Every time my heel and my arch leave the earth, my toes leave the earth, I'm aware of that disconnect. And that is where my awareness lies now. In the places that is not connected to earth. Taking your steps slow and mindful. Feeling them when the foot leaves the earth. Stepping, leaving the earth. And now we're going to combine that. So I'm really going to be mindful of when I'm connected and when I'm disconnected. So maybe when your foot connects, say in your mind's eye, connect. And then release when it releases. Connect, feel connection, release, aware of release. Connect, feel the connection, release, feel the release. Connect, release. Connect, release. Connect, release. And then just allow both feet to find the earth. And feel how both feet are pressing in, letting yourself feel grounded, connected to earth. Take a deep breath in, side out the mouth. And then we're going to find a comfortable laying down position. So if you have a bolster or a long pillow, I invite you to take that behind the legs, just behind the knees. And then if you have a pillow, that'll feel good behind your head. So take a moment's time here and just gather your props. Lying down to be comfortable. So taking your time, there's no rush here. Coming down to the earth, and then if we have that prop under the legs, just stretching them out. Then I'm just going to pause here for a moment and just allow yourself to get comfortable. So when you find your position on the earth, you can move your legs, you can move your arms. Just finding that place where you feel comfortable. Bring your awareness back to your breath, drawing in and out, and allow the eyes to drift closed once again. And just notice your breath without trying to change it. And maybe allow both palms to find the abdomen here. And then as you breathe in, say in your mind's eye, breathing in. And as you exhale in your mind's eye, say, breathing out. In breath, we say breathing in. An out breath, saying breathing out. Eyes are closed. You can say these words in your mind's eye, or you can vocalize them. You can add the word breathing, or you can drop it to just in, out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Taking one more round there. And then pausing for a moment. On your next in-breath, say, breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. And dwelling in the present moment, I know it is a wonderful moment. Breathing in, breathing out. And then remaining just as you are, start to think of a number in between 1 and 3. So bringing that number to your mind's eye, staying as you are, lying down, connected to breath. I am going to read some intention cards, and I will name them as 1, 2, and 3. And hopefully the number that you had, really the intention and the affirmation, really is something that you would like to hear and you need to hear in this moment in time. So having your number, remembering your number. Card number 1. I choose not to worry about things I cannot control. I choose not to worry about things I cannot control. Card number 2. May my words today overflow with love. May my words today overflow with love. And card number 3. If I truly believe it, I can create it. If I truly believe it, I can create it. Take one more cycle through of your breath. Feel the earth holding you, grounding you. And take a moment to just drop anything that no longer serves you down into the earth. Feel yourself feeling more free, more relaxed. And then hugging the knees up to the chest, roll to one side or the other. And then take your time and slowly bring your body back up. Closing your eyes and taking one hand to your heart and one hand to your abdomen again. Feeling your heart beating under your hand. Feeling your breath rising and falling against your hands. And knowing right now your body is thanking you. Your mind and your spirit are thanking you for carving time out of your day to take this pause, to recharge and to renew. Bringing your hands together at heart as we open our eyes. And just saying anything out to the universe right now that you would like to say, either mentally or verbally, sharing anything that maybe came up for you, or just listening to your body, saying thank you for taking this time. And I thank you for meditating with me.